Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show with Eric, Damon, Jay, and Boston John. This show is brought to you by DJ Planner. Thank you for being one of our proud sponsors. Take a look at them and some of our other sponsors down in the description of this video on YouTube. So how's it going, everybody?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Just fine. You wanna talk some music tonight, or do you want to talk about something else?
Let's talk music.
I'm concerned about the weather.
The answer is blowing in the wind.
Yeah, we have hail. They're showing it live, so I should be hearing it soon. Storm's coming through, folks. So
we could talk about the weather in music. Bring up the weather.
Yeah, right.
The weather.
How about flash in the pan, walking in the rain?
Well, you're the scary part, Jay. If we talk about the weather, it's your fault because tonight you're the oldest person in this room.
You guys are all in your early 20s?
You can't blame it on Howie tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, let's go around the room and name a song that has to do with the weather. We could do that all night, my friend.
It's 2 hours.
Someone got their nap in today, I see.
I did. I'm ready.
Would you like to go first, Eric?
He's just been pounding in his drinks over there. Yeah.
If he says it's raining men, I quit.
No. Have you ever seen the rain?
Nice.
Water revival.
Nice.
Jay,
Jamie, you got a weather song?
Jay, give me a nice on that one. That one was good.
That was good.
Thank you.
Good.
100%.
All right. Can You Stand the Rain? New edition.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
Nice. Jay.
I'm going to go to the first one I said that I played when I did my speaker test. Flash in the pan, walking in the rain.
There you go.
John, you got a rain song for us?
Stevie Ray Vaughan, Couldn't Stand the Weather.
Yo, I like it.
I'm going to go Here Comes the Rain Again, Eurythmics.
Oh,
Good
my
one.
God. That's another great one. Yeah.
Great track.
One more round?
Now, let's do this. Should the next round be not rain? Like, you can't mention rain?
Okay.
Could it be a different? Yeah. So this one has to be something else to do with weather, and we can all judge if a certain song doesn't quite
Okay,
meet
a
the
little more
criteria.
challenging. Let's take it.
Okay, I got one. Wind Beneath My Wings.
Wind.
Oh,
There you go.
I see what he
A
did
little
there.
windy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with The Thunder Rolls, Garth Brooks.
Brooks, very nice.
That's not
Well
rain.
played.
Thunder. Yep.
Very good.
Jay.
If I'm up, boy, I was gonna take one from Eric that I think John's gonna do, so I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go yacht rocky though. I'm gonna go Mr. Christopher Cross, Ride Like the Wind.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I bet I know what John's gonna give us.
Would it be the association with everybody knows it's windy? You think I'm going there?
Ooh.
No, I thought you were going AC/DC after you said
That's the
Thunder
chick's name,
Rolls.
though.
Thought you were gonna do Thunderstruck.
What are you going to do, John?
That works too.
It's
You
your
got one,
turn.
John?
Oh,
You gave it.
Yeah, association. It's Windy is the name of the song. And Windy has
Okay.
stormy eyes. Yeah.
I'm going to REO Speedwagon and riding the storm out.
Oh, great
Another
track.
great one.
Not played enough.
We got rules for the third round? Or?
Well, since that was so diverse, why don't we just keep rain off the table and just keep rolling down this ride? I think we got a good round or two left in us.
Ooh.
I'm sure we do. I'm going to go with Rainy Day People, Bob Dylan.
First thing I say,
You
keep
said
the
rain.
out of it, and bang, he gets right there.
Well,
Well, screw it. You know what? Forget it. No, do anything. And think
he said
anything.
no rules. I thought he said no rules. What
No,
else?
no
We'll
rules.
give you a
No rules.
mulligan on that one.
Yeah, you're good. You can
Big
say rain
mulligan.
again.
All right, whatever.
Big Richard Mulligan. Yeah.
Anyone else?
What is it? Missy Elliott, her Rain song. What the fuck?
He said rain too.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Give up.
It's okay.
Well, there's a Missy track that says rain.
Yeah.
I would have to hop in here. You know what? I've got to go old school. I've got to go to the Doors, Riders on the Storm.
Nice.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Inspired by Mr. BSR over there with his REO Speedwagon hit.
Thank you. John.
I always want to know, have you ever seen The Rain? Credence.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah. Didn't they do one called Who'll Stop the Rain too?
Yeah.
And I wonder who'll stop the rain. That's
Yeah, they sang about rain quite a bit.
Credence.
Must have been.
I love
sing
rain.
that one a lot.
Mr. Fogarty loved rain
John
songs.
Fogerty's big rain fan. Wanted to be a meteorologist. A lot of people don't know that.
That's two rain
He's
songs.
an amateur
Okay. I
meteorologist.
got
yeah.
one more.
Okay.
Tony, Tony, Tony. It never rains in Southern California.
Who did that originally?
I have no idea.
Someone- White.
It's a '60s track.
The
James
Marshall
Taylor.
family
Never
or something like
rains.
that.
It's not James
Was it
Taylor.
James Taylor? No.
No.
No, it was
From
a
the
group.
late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah,
I get Albert Hammond in my head for some reason on that.
I wanted to
Ray
say
Charles.
Bread initially.
Ray
but
Charles.
It's not Bread. I don't think it was
Ray
Ray
Charles.
Charles. He may have covered it,
He may have. I don't know. I'm not going to Google
but I don't
Yeah.
think he did the original.
Yeah, I just know the Tony, Tony, Tony version. So
Next.
Here Comes the Sun.
It's like a heat wave. Heat wave. Martha Reeves.
And the Vendrellas, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Linda Ronstadt, depending on
Oh,
how you're
right.
feeling today.
What album you bought? All right. Well, we know we can do this. I think
I
we've
saw
proven
you
that fact to the general
and him
public.
walking in the rain.
Oh,
Orange
you're going
Juice
on
Jones.
Jones.
Oh,
good one.
Oh, he kept that one in the back pocket. He had that
Just
staring
a
around.
squirrel
Yeah.
trying to get a nut.
The nut. No,
Silly
sit down,
rabbit.
sit down. Before I whip out the jammy and flap blast both of you, but I chilled.
They want to mess up that $3,700 Lynx coat.
Coat.
I'll give you one more. Sunshine, go away today.
Yeah.
Jonathan something. I forget.
I
his
think
last-
what you just did was viewers go away today, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just the
Okay,
pitch.
you want me to, I'll cut my camera. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm trying to think of the
It is
artist
Jonathan.
here.
It's Jonathan something.
And it's taken me
It
a
is.
minute. I'm trying to think of the artist. The song is called Flood. It's from the 90s.
Oh,
Christian artist.
Jar of Clay.
Jars of Clay. Jars
something.
of Clay Flood. Yeah.
There you go.
Something about Noah, I think.
Yes.
wasn't it?
I think Michael W. Smith did that.
You
Albert
wish
Hammond.
Michael W. Smith did
Yeah,
that.
you're right, John. Albert Hammond did It Never Rains in Southern California.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
That's why Jay didn't bring up Led Zeppelin.
The Rain song?
I don't know. They did something.
Yeah,
Well,
they did the Rain song.
Fool in the Rain. Yeah, Fool in the Rain.
And they,
I think
also
and the Rain song.
also a meteorologist, Robert Plant. Yeah, yeah.
Gotta be
A lot of songs about rain.
Yeah.
Him and John Fogerty, they went to class together. Or,
Yeah,
just studying weather.
they went to Weatherman U. I think it's in Oklahoma. I think it's right outside of it's right near the Garth Brooks Memorial, right there near downtown Oklahoma City, I think.
Probably.
He's not dead. Why does he have a memorial?
And Kevin in the chat blew the whole thing with the training.
Yeah, that was the one rule we had. No weather
no, we
girls.
couldn't bring
and
that
what did
up.
he do? He goes weather girls.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
If anybody-
that was too low hanging fruit.
That's very low. That's on
Weather
the ground
girls,
hanging fruit.
Raining
Oh,
Man.
all right, I got one more.
All right. We got.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Guns N' Roses, November Rain.
There you go.
Got it. It's a good one. Yeah.
How about Set Fire to the Rain, Adele?
I believe you.
You've never heard that? Whatever.
No.
Now this might be the album title because I can't. Stevie Ray Vaughan was an album Texas Flood or was there a track Texas Flood?
Probably both.
Yeah, I thought it was both, but I could
Yeah.
not remember. Raindrops Keep Falling, B.J. Thomas. It's
B.J.
classic.
Thomas.
Well, there's a lot of rain songs out there.
Yeah,
though.
apparently more than
Really?
we
Yeah.
anticipated. I thought this would be one quick one and done round, but
no, even the Colts got a song called Rain too. That's a great tune. If you guys don't,
Nobody
remember
just
that
Bob
one. Yeah,
Seger's
they have-
Against the Wind, you know.
Bob Seger, that would totally work.
How about
That would
Dust
totally
in the Wind? Dust in the Wind, Kansas.
Dust in the Wind. There
Dust
you
in
go.
the Wind, yeah.
How about
And the next
Sandstorm?
day after,
Darude, you know?
Foreigner, Damage Done. You know?
Oh,
Wow.
Enough of that.
we could
Let's
go on
go
for
to-
minutes with this.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, what happens in a big storm? The levee breaks. I'm just
The
saying.
levee, yeah.
You start breaking
Yeah,
down
that's-
yeah.
side roads.
until it starts getting hot in the city, and then it's
See, exactly. Due to
Oh,
the
there you
sun.
go.
Yeah.
Hot in the City. You can't forget that one.
Here
We-
comes
we
the
will
sun, and now
rebuild.
it's hot in the city.
we were
We will rebuild.
We
Yes.
will rebuild.
Yes. Well, because we built this city to begin with. So I think, not a great period for Jefferson. But
No,
or Starship
that
or
was
both.
their jump the shark moment, I think.
That's even when
Perfect.
Grace
Perfect
Slick was like, I'm
explanation.
out of here.
Yes, that's enough.
She's like, okay, I'm done. And I told you, Mickey Thomas, who did all those later, starting with the album that had the single Jane on it, the vocalist, Mickey Thomas, so I'll say that came out in like 78, 79. He joined Jefferson Starship.
Yeah, Marty Ballin moved on and he jumped in. Yeah,
he jumped in. And here he is all these years later. And I only found this out about 6 months ago. He is the voice for Fooled Around and Fell in Love by Elvin Bishop.
Yeah,
I always thought it was Elvin Bishop. And I watched the video, and there's Elvin playing guitar away from the mic. And there's Mickey Thomas, one of the two backup singers, doing the song. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the vocalist?
You know, the one song he did that I did like for Jefferson Starship was No Way Out. I thought that was nice.
That's a good track.
Yeah,
Jane was my first foray into it. I actually got that out.
Jane
is that year.
Yeah,
that was a great track.
Is heavy. And isn't there one that he does called rock music that's really good?
I'd have to look in.
It's rock music. It's a really good song, and I think it turned up on the Ultimate Breaks and Beats for the drumming at the beginning, the intro drum. A lot of hip hop artists use that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you know who the drummer was in that period? Ainsley Dunbar. And when he left Starship in the mid-'80s, he was the drummer on Whitesnake's 87 album that the band never toured with, and then they got Tommy Aldridge. But if you look, I think we talked about it one night, Ainsley Dunbar has something like 200 or 300 records to his credit that he played drums on. And he was with everyone.
We just triggered Jay into a genre that he...
You got me in my sweet spot. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
When I start naming the drummers,
yep,
you may want to just take your drink and sit down.
Just You know what? Let's just watch for a while. We'll just sit back. The storm's calmed down a little bit here.
JC brought up one, and it's
going over the lake according to the radar. So I think we're in the clear. We made it. So
good.
We were talking about Peter Gabriel last night, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he brought up Red Rain by Peter Gabriel.
Oh, that's a great track. That's on So.
Yeah, interesting.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's such a good album. I mean, seriously, such a good album. Because you can put it on and just listen to it. It's in its entirety. It's a Genesis album in its entirety. No skip, no need to move around. Just soak it all in. Just great.
I am surprised by one. John didn't bring this up with his Rock Nights on Twitch. Rock You Like a Hurricane to score.
Oh, forgot about that one.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm so surprised John did not come up.
If we did a few more rounds, that'd have been scratching it.
Oh, yeah. That would have shown out.
Yeah.
In our head, it's like the second someone says the word rain, it's going to rain here.
Right.
Boom, I go flash in the pan, walk in the rain. Now it's like the race is on. What else can we go to?
Right.
But hurricane, if he'd said, oh man, it looks like we're getting a hurricane, it still may not have triggered Scorpions. Because then you could do Scorpions' Wind of Change too.
I still think
what happens after the hurricane.
The best one that was brought up tonight was Orange Juice Jones.
Yeah. No, he wins.
That really, because it's you don't hear that anywhere.
No.
I still play that.
Right. And
my God, I haven't heard that. And they all know the rapper theme, which is funny.
Everyone.
They haven't heard, but it's all just like ingrained in the DNA if you listen to it.
Brought back some
when that came out, that was on the radio so hard. Like, I know all the rap lines. Like, that's how hard it was played in Boston. That track was just like, oh, this is the cool part. Oh, yeah, what'd you do today? Okay, no, sit down.
That was the best part of the whole thing.
Some of those rap things, you just hear it enough times, it just gets burned in. Like bass, how low can you go? Death Row, what about that? I know that whole thing up until we hit Bring the Noise. It's just it's just in your head forever.
Kudos to Damon. He's just a squirrel trying to get a nut tonight.
There you go. You know why? Because he's paranoid, schizo, setback, snowbound, bad news, psycho, heart attack, breakdown. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, my God.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 fan back in the day.
Melly Mel rocking it.
Oh, This is great. This is great.
And this is what we do when we're not recording, folks.
Yeah, what's funny is this doesn't feel like a show.
It does not.
It feels like 3 a.m. on a Wednesday.
It's probably better than this show when you think about it.
Well, with the show, we have scripts, and I've got makeup and hair people over here. I've got Izzy, my manager, over there. A lot of pressure.
Lighting and the whole stuff. And
Dorms.
I'm going to take that again.
I can't
Key
believe
Grip and Best Boy, whoever the hell they are. It's just a different vibe.
I can't believe
Stormfront. Oh, Billy Joel. We could have gone Billy Joel with
Billy
Stormfront.
Joel.
I know that's an album, but is that a song?
Oh, you know what? You might be right. Yeah, it might.
I know We Didn't Start the Fire was on there, but I didn't know.
Was Alexa on that?
I don't know.
Oh, and you know what I hear in the background? I'm Alexa. What do you need?
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
She's going
Like,
off.
that was a mean thing to do to a lot of our viewers, to say that.
Well, I'm not trying to get views or anything, but if you follow me on Instagram, I highly suggest you go check out the reel I put on today, because if you have that little thing in your house that you talk to and the lady's name starts with A, it's a parody on how you ask for a song. The guy goes, yeah, crisscross jump. And it's like, here's Van Halen jump. And everyone's yelling, no, we didn't ask for that. And it's like, no, not this. Oh, here's Christopher Cross, right? Like, and it's just, she just completely goes sideways on it. And they finally get
sisters
like,
with jump.
Here's the song, and it never plays. It's like, yep, that's I've done that 100 times.
Alexa is trying to save people from themselves at that point, I think.
Yeah. Wouldn't you rather hear this?
Yeah.
That song
You really want to hear
sucks.
that? No, you don't want to hear that.
No, Brian, just for your edification, because I know that you are one that does not like to go without knowing.
What?
The
Right.
album Breakdown, very quickly, that's not her style. Great track. We Didn't Start the Fire.
Yeah.
Classic. Downeaster, Alexa. I Go to Extremes.
I Go to Extremes. Yeah.
Great song.
A track that I can't tell who's better. I think Billy, but a lot of people think Garth Brooks. And that would be Shameless.
Okay.
Followed by the track Stormfront, followed by
so
Leningrad,
there's a song on
State
there.
of Grace,
Oh, it is on.
and So It Goes. I mean,
Yeah.
not a clunker in the group. Not a clunker in the group.
I don't know the song Stormfront. I'm not in a hurry to hear it either.
You know what? It's Rocky. It's kind of one of his like one of those kind of vibey like.
Because this
that's
is
what I
what Joel
remember
songs
of
sound
it.
like.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's kind of his thing. Yeah, they also.
But
Don't
you know
do
when he
that
does
again.
that lower range voice.
Right.
Yeah, Downeaster's good. I forget about That's Not Her Style.
How did we not hit Stormbringer from Deep Purple?
You know, that was the other one that I just dawned on me too when I looked up Stormfront. I'm like, oh wait, we forgot Deep Purple in this.
They always sing about weather. Also, amateur meteorologists.
As a matter of fact, I think he graduated. I think Ian Gillan graduated from Weather.
They all attended, but they don't graduate. It's
Everyone
kind of
thinks
like
they
a
do
Berkeley
drugs and groupies. A lot of them carry a small radar system just to follow.
No, nobody did Eddie Rabbit Love the Rainy Night.
I was in the notes. Someone
him out.
posted that. Yeah,
That's a great song.
Who did the song Thunder and Lightning? Remember that song?
By Thin Lizzy.
No.
They did
it's
a
more of a yacht
track
rocky
called
kind
Thunder
of
and Lightning.
sounding thing.
Thunder Island is Jay Ferguson.
Thunder Island is Jay Ferguson.
Yeah.
But Thunder and Lightning, Eric, it's in his head right now because he knows what I'm talking about.
Thunder
And
Lightning.
I know the song. Yeah, I don't know who did it, but I'm thinking of Riders on the Storm by the Doors too.
Yeah.
I mentioned
But
that
who
one.
did that? Thunder? Oh, you did, Jay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did Riders in
You
the Storm.
gotta Google that one because I don't know. It's not in my wheelhouse.
I'm gonna.
I hadn't thought of that song in a long time.
Like Thunder.
Yeah, it was not. Maybe it's not a yacht rock song, but it sounds like it would be a yacht rock song.
You reminded me of something. I got a bill from our friend Mr. Chris Cox.
A bill.
A bill from a club
Oh,
where he had gone in 1978 to see BOC, Blue Oyster Cult.
okay.
And he sent me a copy of the bill. I just want to give you, this is 1 week's worth of groups, okay? I just want to give you the lineups. And this is a club. This is not a stadium. First night, Angel with the Babies opening.
Wow.
2 days later, the Tubes. I don't even think they had an opener. Jerry Garcia Band. The Outlaws with Jay Ferguson.
Well, that's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah, it is odd. This one really goes a little bit over. Oh, no, you know what? It's John Carroll Fieldhouse. Oh, this was at UNLV. Okay, this was it. Yes, he grew up in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
This one is kind of bizarre, but I would have paid money to see this. Journey, opener Ronnie Montrose.
Ooh.
Opener for Ronnie Montrose, Van Halen. This one, no sense at all. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. You ready for the opener?
Okay. Uriah Heep.
Sweet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The Sweet, yes.
Sweet.
They listed just as sweet. As I questioned that as well, saying, Is that the sweet? Because I'm like, it just says.
You know what? Some of my tracks say sweet and they say the sweet.
I think, I don't, yeah.
Depends which side of the pond you bought it. I think
Chris was seeing Blue Oyster Cult with Bebop Deluxe. Wow.
I don't know if that's the name of the song, Brian. Like Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah, I
I
assume
think it might be
It's so
in the
exciting. I mean, Thunder and Lightning is a track by Thin Lizzy later in their
And
career. But the one-
Ricky Dillon comes up, but that's not the one I'm thinking of.
it's a girl, isn't it?
well, Knock on Wood quotes that phrase, but
I
that's
think
not
it's
the name of the song.
is it Chicago?
I don't think so. No.
It's Chicago.
Really?
Yes.
And the track is Thunder and Lightning?
Yeah. I
You're
mean,
gonna have to play it after the show.
This another deep dive for you?
yeah, this is a very deep dive. I remember hearing it, but yeah, it's a Chicago track.
I remember it's like thunder.
Yeah.
Lightning.
I just heard a snippet from it from Chicago, and yeah, that's
You almost sound like you're doing Jethro Tull. Bungle in the Jungle.
It's not that.
You know what I'm saying? You're like,
right.
so let's bungle in the jungle. Like,
it's got that
that's-
same cadence
It's kind
to
of
it.
the same thing. Right. Yeah.
It's a different key.
Right.
Same cadence, different key.
See, Brian knew I was doing it right. Like, that's how it sounds.
Yeah, that's
But
exactly how it sounds.
It's kind of weird.
According to what I found here, it's Chicago.
I can't believe that's Chicago.
I don't know what album.
Is there a date? How far back? Well, that's the question.
Well,
How
I'm
far
looking
back?
at
this when they were
2003
transit?
Master.
Maybe it's when they were
No,
transit.
it's like early 80s.
Thunder
Peter
and
Cetera period?
Yeah.
Chicago. I'm going to put that in and see.
Yeah. Thunder and Lightning, Chicago.
It does come
And
up.
it's Peter Cetera.
It's from
singing.
1980.
Yeah.
And I don't know my Roman numerals. XIV. What is that?
That's
4. X is 10.
Chicago.
TV is 4. 14?
14.
Yeah.
Chicago 14.
I took Latin in high school.
I got the live version playing now on my phone, but I don't know if this is it either.
You got to get to the chorus.
Yeah.
It's the same song, whether or not we're thinking of Chicago doing it or someone else. I would assume that we're thinking of Chicago because it was one of those tracks that hit and then went away. It
It's
wasn't.
like thunder. Just say, I'm trying to get to the chorus. You guys can't hear it.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
After the show, I'll confirm it. but
Yeah,
I'm
we're
pretty
gonna do it.
confident
We're gonna do it after this.
There are people in the comment section going, "It's Chicago, stupid!" You know, but
Of course, it's their song. They don't do covers, right? It's
I only find it live from 1980
well, they did. I'm a Man. That was a cover.
from a TV
Hey, bro.
show. And I got to tell you, I just heard about 12 seconds of it, and it's the worst thing I've ever heard from Peter Cetera's mouth.
Well,
So
it's
maybe
the chorus that's hooky.
But even the hook on it, it's like, it's Cetera's high-pitched voice doing thunder and lightning.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
see, that was kind of the deal with Chicago. They were dying. Like the label was ready to just slice them.
It's like thunder and lightning, how I love you.
Right. They were
I
ready
know it's
to
not-
and then that's when they brought in David Foster for 16 and they exploded.
Yeah.
They were ready to lose their label. They're
they're going to get dropped or something.
yeah. I mean, Terry Kath died and then they did like what the hell's the name of that album? Street Player on it and all that. Something Streets is the name of the Hot Streets. And then they kind of had Alive Again and all that came out, but then they kind of fell off. And they're like, we're done with you guys. And then they brought in David Foster, and all of a sudden it's this amazing.
They went nuts with him. The comments are all positive. I always felt this was extremely underrated. What a great song. This is one of the many tunes to get stuck in your head. One of the best Chicago songs. I should quit my job. This sucks. I can't even listen to any more of it.
Everybody's
So
a critic now.
No, I'm not
You're out of
critiquing it.
touch.
It sounds terrible to me. Like I don't want to listen to it. And I
just
and
remember
I
the
love his
song being
voice.
played a lot.
Yeah.
Where I lived anyway, and for whatever that's worth. But
Yeah, and I'm a fan of his. It's like,
not his best work.
But if in 80, he was the new voice of Chicago for the most part, maybe
No.
that's the draw.
No.
Maybe that's what made it interesting to people.
Peter Cetera had been with Chicago since its incarnation.
yeah, no,
He'd
he'd
always
around.
been singing on it.
You didn't hear him. That's why I love that song. Wish
I'm
You
a
Were
Man
Here.
in 1968 playing bass and singing.
Yeah.
Brian,
Wish
He
You
does
Were
the
Here.
bridge and
He
starts
started
from
the
the
high.
bar.
No, when he hit the spotlight, it was he's got.
Well, Terry died, so he stepped up front.
Yeah.
But it
Brian,
was usually the three singers of Chicago. You got Terry Kath, who sounds like a brother. He's trying to sound like Ray Charles, which is interesting. You've got Robert Lamb, who's still singing with Chicago. He's the keyboard player. He's the one who sang and wrote Saturday in the Park.
Yep.
Except for Peter doing the bridge. And then you got Peter Cetera, who's the bass player and sings. But all three of those guys are founding members of the band Chicago. But Peter stepped up when Terry died, but it was still a mix of Robert Lamb and Peter Cetera. Even on like Hard Habit to Break, it's both of them singing it.
Yeah.
But you don't
And they
realize
do great
that.
harmonies.
They do, but they're almost doing a duet.
Yeah.
Like Robert Lamb's the one who is actually singing "You're a Hard Habit to Break." Peter Cetera is doing "Being Without You" is a lot to get used to, but then "I'm Addicted to You, Babe, You're a Hard Habit to Break." That is Robert Lamb. So they switch back and forth.
And when you look at their big hits in the beginning, it was Terry and Robert. Like
Peter was
Color
there
My
too.
World, Terry.
So that was Terry.
Wish You Were Here,
Yeah.
Terry. With
Strong
a little
for Every
bit.
Day is Peter, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, he was always there. And then if you look at like early I'm a Man,
Yeah.
they're all taking parts, you know?
But that's how I always thought of Cetera's. He was part of the singers, not the singer.
Right.
Not till
But
the 80s.
I think it depended on who wrote the song, too. Because they were all writing for the band. So whoever.
I just saw some documentary, not on Chicago, but somehow Peter Cetera was in it, and they were talking about him and Amy Grant.
Next Time I Fall.
Yeah, but it was like this huge gamble. Like she was a completely unknown Christian singer. And I think it's Foster that found her because he wrote that.
Maybe.
It was that 80s period where everything Cetera did, it had David
Was
Foster.
that 80s or 90s?
I think it was 80s. I think.
I want to say that was 90s.
When did he leave Chicago?
He left Chicago after 17.
Late 80s? Mid 80s?
That would be mid 80s, 84, 85.
I gotta confess
And then
something. You guys figure this out. Because I figured out what I was singing, and it wasn't that.
What were you singing?
Knock on Wood from Amy Stewart.
Stewart.
Okay. Remember, she goes, "It's like thunder, lightning."
Oh, yeah. The way you love me is frightening. I better knock on wood.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I can't remember who did that originally.
That was Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood. But
well, she did a version of it, yeah.
What you were thinking about, Brian. So I don't think I'm thinking the same thing.
Like Sam Cooke or somebody do that originally or something like that.
Knock on Wood, maybe.
Yeah, there was another Knock on Wood.
Yeah.
Peter Cetera, Amy Grant, 1986 was the release.
Oh, wow. That is early.
Much earlier than even I thought.
It's a nice song.
Beautiful track.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with Amy's Succular record. I thought it was really good. With baby, that No Getting Over You, Baby, Baby, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that was 91.
That was a really Every Heartbeat, I think, was her song. Those were good songs.
Her name. Those were good
I think they were trying to get her. They saw the potential of like, she's clean cut, sweet, not going to have any problems. She's not going to be high on the road. Maybe
That's What Love Is For, I think, was her song.
Yeah. Maybe
she had a lot of good ones.
The next thing.
Yeah.
And she's managed to stay that way her whole career. Like there's she did rehab that one time.
No scandals at all.
No.
Clean as a
Baby Baby, I thought was a genuinely really good pop song.
Yeah.
Eddie Floyd did the original Knock on Wood in 1966, but whatever. That was the one I had in my head with the It's Like Thunder.
Okay.
So
I was the only one who had the Chicago song in my head.
Right. You have the right
suck.
You were thinking about.
It's a terrible song, according to Pastor Jay.
Which one? This one? No,
the Chicago song, Thunder and Lightning, that you hate. Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I don't either, but I remember it.
But yeah, Amy Grant is now married to, and has been for like 24 years. She got married in 2000 to Vince Gill, who's now on the road with Eagles.
Not
Eagles.
Not the.
Whatever's left of them guys.
Joe Walsh, Don Henley, and who's the bass player with the high voice? Schultz.
Smith?
Timothy B. Schultz. Timothy B. Schmidt.
Schmidt,
Sorry.
yeah, Timothy B. Schmidt, yeah.
Timothy B. Schmidt.
The guy from Poco.
Yeah, and the guitar players are not Don Henley. The other that I can't. Glenn Fry's son, I think, is one of the guitarists.
They pulled one of those. They pulled a Wolfie.
They pulled that, and they've got Vince Gill, and I think they have.
Callback.
Vince Gill's been with him for a few years. I think they, believe it or not, I think they have Campbell. His first name.
Oh, he's dead.
No, not Glenn Campbell, but
Glenn's dead. Yeah.
the guitarist from Tom Petty, his lead guitarist.
Okay.
I believe he was on the road with them as well. Mike Campbell.
Now, if you were to...
You know why? Because Mike Campbell wrote Boys of Summer for Don Henley.
If you were to guess 40 years ago, go back 40 years.
Okay.
And somebody asked
So 1970 what?
Right. So we're talking 84. And someone said to you, okay, we're going to do a Deadpool for Eagles. Who's going to die first? Who would have you said?
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh. All day
Joe Walsh.
long.
Everybody. Joe Walsh.
Life's been good to him so far.
Yeah. And you can say the same thing about the Keith Richards and the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, really.
Who's going to die first? It's Keith Richards. Yeah. And
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre, but I think some of these guys, when they clean up their acts, they sort of get like a second pass at it.
Joe looks good.
Joe sounds and looks great. He's keeping his act together.
Keith Richards still, he was just on Howard Stern.
He's quit drinking and
dead
smoking
for a long time.
but he's still around, and he's
still around. Yeah, I saw a picture of him and his daughter today, who's got the same dental plan he has.
Well, it's funny because I got this, and you see this on the top, and these are the actual musicians from the Titanic. Well, if you look down in the corner, right there, that's actually one of the musicians from the Titanic. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just saying. There's the band.
He's already
the one that lived, and it says musicians from the Titanic. He's even got a 1959 guitar. So, I mean, he's a time traveler.
The one that lived, yeah.
Hey, give them credit. They played till the ship went down, okay? Leave them alone.
And the band played.
Till the ship went down.
No. That would have not been me because I'd have been packing up.
I was just saying the same thing. If you were on some cruise ship, would you be like DJing until the ship went down?
Hell no.
No.
Don't touch that hip. You're going to get shocked. Hold on.
This is wrapping the cables.
I'm grabbing a Pelican case.
Right.
A
floating Pelican case.
Yes. Perfect solution. Modern problems need modern solutions. Get a floating case. You're going to be all right.
Yeah.
You can keep that Yamaha.
Text me after.
Yeah, by the way, there's enough room on the door for Jack. All right.
I'm going to keep playing. In the meantime, you're just like putting this playlist together with the longest songs you can find, like Paradise But the Dashboard Light and
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Right. And you're running to the deck.
Drop the needle and I'm gone. It's like 15 minutes later, you're going to realize I'm not here anymore.
Forget about it. That's so funny.
He's certainly
sorry for stealing your line there, Eric. Right.
And not to go further, but somewhere I have a photograph of Abraham Lincoln playing an actual Fender Stratocaster that he borrowed from Keith Richards. So
yes,
I know you can't believe everything you see on the internet, but I think it's too compelling not to believe.
It's funny. This is completely unrelated to anything we're supposed to be talking about here, but the whole AI thing, where you can just say AI, hey, can I get a picture of Abraham Lincoln with a Fender Strat? And it makes it, and it kind of looks
perfect.
Right. And, since that has become a thing, nothing's amazing anymore because I just assume anything I see is BS.
You can't trust anything.
Yeah. You go back 10 years or let's go back 30 years. If you saw an old historic photo, you could tell if it was doctored. I mean, you really could. And be like, oh, that's amazing. You could show me the most amazing thing that's real now, and I still wouldn't believe it because
that's the downside is because it's artificial. It's almost the same. This is going to be a terrible analogy, or it's going to be perfect. So I won't get a FCC fine, but it's sort of like there was a time when a certain body part on a certain gender started to change, and you just assumed that everyone you saw that was fake. And it's sort of like that now. It's just like, oh, those are fake. Those are fake. Those are fake.
Oh, those.
It's those. It's the same kind of thing where you just got in your head like nothing's real
Talking
anymore.
about ears, folks.
Ears, when ears got big on one of the
Big
genders.
ears on people.
Yeah.
They get
Fingers
that
too. AI
augmentation.
doesn't do fingers well either. So if Keith Richards is on Noah's Ark with like 6 fingers, you'd be like, "That's BS.
That's fake."
That's
Now, look at the whole
absolute BS.
controversy over the Kate Middleton photo. They tore it apart, and I'm like, I didn't notice that till they pointed out the failings. The other issue with AI is now they're running counter programs because people are I did it a little while ago. I downloaded a free AI program for a trial and said, give me a 30-second introduction to anybody that I am a DJ and own a DJ business. And I mean, it was insane. It took it about 7 seconds and it spit back a paragraph that read like, I was the greatest thing since
everybody dancing.
Well, it just kept saying all these things, but you realize that that's what you're going to start to see on websites. I know 4 or 5 people that have disclosed to me with no shame. They've handed in perspectives to companies where they work and gotten praise, bonuses, and raises, and the verbiage is completely AI generated. They're like, I can't write that well. So I just go to AI and say, I need a 200-word synopsis of how my finances have been this year. And it spits it right out for them. And they're like, here you go, boss.
It's just nothing is amazing to me anymore. Although, you know what? I think if AI could figure out how to write awesome music, that'd be cool. I would just let them do it because someone else.
No, but that's what sucks about AI. AI is now doing like taking the voice of Frank Sinatra and doing a Biggie track, or taking this and doing that.
Right, I've heard that.
But they sound terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like just do it on your own. It always comes back to us. This is why we will survive everything, because no matter how good AI is, it can't show up at the gig and on a dime do the one thing that inherently we have to do, and that is read a crowd.
Yep.
I don't care how good it gets. I don't care how profound it gets. I don't care how much Elon Musk invests. It will never read a crowd, even though they've got programs. I saw them in Vegas that will take your business. You tell it, we open at 4, we close at midnight. Our biggest crowd is at 8 to 10. We have 50% women, 50% men at this age group. It will give you playlists that are mixed, and it will determine what it's going to play to keep people there, the peaks and valleys, when it should ramp up, what artist, again, what your age group is. You have to give it the information first.
Right.
But it will provide you with music that it streams into your bar or restaurant.
Yeah, I can dig that. There's so many weird factors, though, when we're playing in front of an audience. There's stuff that I see. AI is kind of a general thing, as I guess a lot of DJs are too. If you see a lot of people out there in their 70s, you're going to assume that you're going to need to play music from maybe the 60s and the 70s.
No, I'd play 90s. 70s. Someone in their 70s is very young. I would play something maybe 90s, 80s. That's very, very young.
Okay, so yeah, but then we've got my mom.
She likes younger music.
Yeah, and she's 83.
Yeah.
So, I mean, generally speaking, it's generally correct, but it's not always correct. And
right. An AI program doesn't know your mom, and it won't factor that her tastes are younger than what someone of that age generally would be listening to. She's evolved, and
but she can't talk to AI. She can talk to a DJ. She can go up and be like, you know what? I love Prince. I love, I love yacht rock. I love this. I love that. I love some 70s funk. That's a conversation. AI doesn't give you that, one, but two, I think it assumes too many things. It takes things literally, and life is not literal sometimes.
No. Well, I think a lot of DJs assume a lot of things when they're programming too.
We all know.
Not everyone.
I know I do, but I'm sure you guys know DJs.
I do too.
That will sit down with a couple in their office and program 2 solid hours of dance music by running every track past them.
Right.
Put it into a couple different programs and then say to them, this is what I'm going to play at your wedding.
I know you got a pal that does that.
Yeah, and I thought they'd be horrifying
to me.
And they were the other way around. They were like, thank you so much for doing this. We love every piece. We love the mixes. We can't wait for our friends and family to have a blast. Well, what they've done is they've created this sense of this is going to be a great time in the bride and groom. And the result is it works because the bride and groom are smiling the whole time.
Well, yeah, they're way into it.
Because they got involved in the selection process.
But you don't know what life would have been like if it hadn't gone that way, because you can't go back. You don't know what it would have been like to have a strong DJ there programming live for an audience, watching the reaction. Could have been a very different vibe.
You and I have worked in this business outside of being a DJ on the other side, and we've both seen people that need to have every single second of the projects set up, metered. They need to know where everyone is. They need to know how it's going to go. I've seen that my whole career. There are people that are like, hey, man, let's be organic and just go with the flow. And then there are people that are adamant, like, no, you don't do this at this. You do this at that. It's like...
In all fairness, though, I mean, to just clarify, I believe there are clients who want that.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely...
I mean, initially... want that. They want to be in control. They're control freaks. They want to be in control of everything. In reality, of course, they're going to be happy if it goes exactly the way they wanted it to go and they dictated it the way it went. But you're never going to know what the cool surprise could have been if you had a strong programmer there just playing to your audience.
Right.
You're never going to know.
If it's micromanaged, your hands are kind of tied at that point.
Yeah, I guess that's my argument, you know?
Well,
I mean,
you know what?
Counterpoint.
I never gave it much thought till you gave the counterpoint. I gave my DJ, outside of this 200 song no list that I ended up ripping up at the wedding because it was just keeping his hands handcuffed. I have to say, if he had said to me, hey, Jay, let's go over that 2-hour window of dancing that I think you're going to end up with. Check it out. What do you think if I start here? And if he built me a dance playlist that was mixed really well in a program, as much as I would be like, no, I really want it organic. I'm man enough to admit there's a part of me that would be like, okay, cool. I don't have to sweat a dead dance floor. These are all bangers. Yeah. And I could always also say to him, hey, if these for some reason don't work that night, just pick up the ball and run with it. But is it the worst thing to go into a wedding with I mean, there's a company that we all know that's their whole basis of existence. We'll give you a crate that works perfect every time. And we always say that's not possible. But what if you did meet with the client? What if the bride and groom said, you know, we've been to a lot of weddings where nobody danced. Well, you know what? Let's go over what I'm going to look at. Let's build your dance crate. And you start pulling tracks in and they start giving you the big high fives and thumbs up. And you go, I've got 100 songs. I can't play all of them. But this is what I'm going to do. More or less, and if I need to pull in other songs, you would say, wow, what a great DJ you are for doing that, versus giving them the actual mix of it.
I've been real fortunate, and I guess I take it for granted. I should say it out loud because I have been fortunate. I can say that for several years now, I mean, okay, let's just say post-COVID, my clients have put a lot of faith in me when it comes to programming for their audience. Right. And I really appreciate that they appreciate my artistry. Those are the people that I like to work with. Where they, of course, they have requests. Of course they do. But they trust that my knowledge is good enough where I can build around what they want. They trust that. They trust that I'm going to use really good judgment and discretion with requests, whether something's appropriate or whether something's going to work or not. And I will say that there have been so many parties where I've gotten requests that didn't even occur to me to play. And they set me on a trajectory that I would have never guessed I would have gone on. And it was so good. You know, it was just cool. Just the other night, most of their songs were, I guess, crooner songs, or they had Beatles. They liked Phil Collins. They liked Pink Floyd. Fine. Someone asked for Tequila by the Champs, which I thought was a little on the nose for a 50th wedding anniversary for Latinos, but we played it. And that set me on this journey that I never would have went on without that request. The response was so strong from the audience too. It was nice, and the client didn't ask for it. It didn't occur to me, but sometimes those requests are amazing.
That's when you get to really enjoy your job, is when the crowd takes you.
Yeah,
I love those moments where you're like, there's no way this song's going to work. And it does. And in your brain, everything starts firing off. Okay, get rid of the plan. Now we're in the river. We're whitewater rafting. And all we got to do is stay away from the rocks. What's going to follow this? Because everyone's like, oh, it's the next song. No, it's not. It's the third and fourth and fifth next songs. Yeah. If you're planning a route, but when they throw those wrenches in and go, oh, this is going to kill, you have to come back with, damn, now where? And when you hit the next track, that's when the sweat stops and you're like, all right, let's ride this wave in. Let's go as far as we can, or let's dump off the board and go down another pathway.
You take that detour until, as long as it lasts.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I think that's you serving this. That's like the artists that say, I'm here to serve the song. And I think musicians are, guitarists are, drummers are, but I think DJs are here to serve the crowd. And if the crowd wants to go there, let the crowd go there. That's your job. Your job is not to be a dictator of fashion and style. Your job is to read a crowd and say, I'm professionally inclined to believe you will like all these pieces. But if you want me to suddenly play Jim Carroll, those are people who died, you have to then be able to jump up and go, oh man, am I going to go with Jimmy 8 World? Like, is it that vibe? Or am I going more with Patti Smith? Or is this a Ramones blood, like I've got choices, but I didn't think I would be using any of those pieces of work tonight. And that can be a lot of fun. It's a great example on Twitch, by the way, of someone that can go down roadways that are often untraveled. We have our friend, the PD from the greater LA area, and you could be in the middle of playing Twisted Sister and Rat, and Jim will come out with like, yo, how about Be a Better Man? It's like, wait, what?
Let me get a word in.
Power of Tower?
Then you can keep filibustering. I was just going to say that Blanca likes to give me a list of things she wants for Christmas. Specific things. These boots in this size and this color, and this thing and that thing. So on Christmas morning, she unwraps things. It's exactly what she asked for, and she got it. I'm the dude who likes to be surprised.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want to know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Nope.
And I think that way with music too. I try to use empathy in the regard that the surprise is cooler than the thing that you kind of almost demanded. It's like, you will play this. Well, of course, the thing that you weren't expecting, that you love, that you never even occurred to you that you would love, but you really love, is the cool thing. I like that. When I get the cool sweater I wasn't thinking about, or when I get the cool gadget that I didn't even know existed, I didn't even know they made these things. Oh my God, this is going to make my life easier, and this is great.
You're right.
That's cool.
It's like 100%. Musically, it's when you're rolling with it organically and something happens, it's a happy accident. You're like, oh, we're in this room now, and everybody's loving it. Like, now you get the creativity factor. It's like, I've got 8 different choices. I could follow this that would make sense. What's going to work? And you have to decipher, you don't want to take them too far off their must-play but you want to give them something that makes it, unexpected. That's the prize that just electrifies the room. They're like, this wasn't on any of our lists. How come we didn't think of it?
I totally understand the appeal of a client dictating a playlist. I do understand that appeal to the client and to the DJ. I get it. As an artist and just somebody who's worked so hard to do this my whole career, it's odd that why is this different than a jukebox? And there's nothing wrong with the jukebox, but it's not an artist to me. I think it's interesting to be able to just go with it, ride that wave, see where they're going to take it. There's no right or wrong. That's just my interpretation of it.
Do you remember what you followed Tequila with? Where did you stay on the course?
I'd have to go back and look because I don't remember.
Or did you left turn them again?
Eric, you got something?
I do. You guys brought up AI, right? And I just want to bring this up real quick. And I want your opinion on this. Because whether you know Randy Travis or not, he had a stroke many years ago, right?
Yeah.
and all his fans miss him and they love him. So he recently had a song in the archives, right? It was called Where That Came From, I think, something like that.
Mm.
And he had another guy singing it using the AI, and it sounded just like Randy Travis. Now, this thing is getting released, I think, next month for country radio.
Yeah.
Now, you as a fan, if you were a fan, what would you think this is fake? Or would it be great just to hear something that sounds like Randy again? You know, I'm a fan. You know, right. I don't know how to feel about this. Like,
yeah, I don't know how I feel about it either. I mean, you could argue that there are bands like Greta Van Fleet that sound like Led Zeppelin. So are Zeppelin fans into Greta Van Fleet? No. But maybe if Robert Plant was producing Greta Van Fleet, it might make a difference. I don't know. That's a really good question.
Right. Yeah. I figured I'd ask you guys, see what you guys thought. Like, I know it's fair. I know it's AI. So it's like, yeah, well, that ain't Randy.
I'll give you this, Eric. It's like, I don't want to hear Johnny Cash singing Baby Got Back, but if there was unreleased material that Johnny Cash didn't finish or something that was in the works before he passed away, I'd like to hear what that could have been. I'd like to hear the possibility of his lyrics and his, songs being utilized.
Kind of sort of what they did with the last Beatles song?
Yeah, there was unfinished. A lot of Lennon parts that had to kind of finesse to make it fit.
I wasn't feeling the track personally, but yeah, they used AI to bring Lennon in and finish stuff or take noise out or something.
And they're releasing this as Randy Travis, Where That Came From.
He wrote it, though. He
did write it.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not really him singing.
But he's unable to perform it. There's an extenuating circumstance there. It's
right. So it to me, I don't know. I'm on the fence. Like, how do I feel about that? I'm like, it's great to hear his voice again and hear him like he used to be, and it really does sound just like him. I'm not gonna lie.
We've talked about nuances before in great length where there was a time, it's with certain types of music, country music, like Randy Travis does, definitely qualifies, where sometimes there's mistakes in the recording. Sometimes there's a weird sound. At the beginning of Roxanne by The Police, Sting accidentally sits on the piano. You can hear the piano go dunk dunk, and he laughs, and they left it in.
Yeah.
And that's like such a cool little thing in the song that was a complete accident. When you're doing this AI thing, it's very precise and it's very robotic, and those little nuances don't exist when you do it like that.
It's all perfect.
Yeah, right. It's all perfect.
Right.
And it's the imperfections that I think make most things beautiful.
I just thought I'd bring that up to see.
No, it's a really, really good thing to bring up.
I don't like auto-tune. I like the mistakes. Eddie Van Halen famously said there's mistakes on Eruption, there's mistakes on the album. And he would much rather be real and have feeling come out than perfection. But he also was recording on 2-inch tape. So I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when his studio was built with Pro Tools and say, what's your thought now? And when Foo Fighters did their album a couple of years back, or probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, they did it on tape. And it's a great documentary about it because they're like, man, this is so much stress. Before, if you made a mistake, you just did one little section again and you were fine.
Yeah, just punch it in or whatever. Yeah.
I think I just saw a thing with David Letterman interviewing Billie Eilish. And there's a section of Bad Guy. And Phineas, her brother, says, Billy said that word 63 times, and here are all the cuts. And we went through all of them and built the final, you're a bad guy. And that came from 61 times of her saying it and cutting it. That's unrealistic. That's, if she said it, 3, 4, 5, 10 times maybe, but it took, and it's them being perfectionists, but knowing that 63 times of mistakes, you could make one good take out of it. That just seems, that doesn't seem
we imagined,
genuine.
but this is actually better or something like that.
I mean, where are we going to be in 10 or 20 years with bands on the road? Are they not going to tour because they just don't have the skill or talent to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Be more backing tracks and more, punch-in computer filler and then there's just the band,
I mean, Tesla famously still says they said it on their first album in 86. no computers used on this record. And they, on their tour now in 2024, in their Vegas residency they did a few Vegas shows. They said no computers used on this tour. Like, they're still banging that gong of, you hear us on the record, you hear us live. And I think it's even more poignant today because, let's face it, Kiss, Aerosmith, there's a lot of bands out there that have so much backing vocals. Lead singer could walk off stage, you'd never know it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of sad.
It'd be funny if Tesla did an acoustic album.
Without a computer, yes.
Well,
And brought back-
no. Tesla's electricity.
They did an acoustic. They did the 5-man
But
acoustic jam.
that's
And they
funny
brought
to
back
me.
the song
That's the
Signs.
joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, never mind.
Hey, at least somebody was trying to help Tesla out. And where did it get them? Do you think Elon's given them each a car? I bet he hasn't. That should be our new campaign, John. Get Tesla a Tesla. Yeah, you see the t-shirts now, don't you?
Yeah, they're all driving pickup
They
trucks.
write
They don't want one of those
themselves.
stupid things.
Well, thanks for watching, giving you a little taste of what it looks like after the show, during the show. This is pretty much how it is. Very unorganized and off the cuff, and
But passionate.
let Damon talk as little as possible. That's
Passionate.
so. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.